Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Grow Business Network summer series where we're going to do some interviews with some awesome, local, talented individuals who own and operate businesses here in Southwest Florida. And today we're going to start with one of my good friends, Joe Taylor. Joe, welcome to the show today. Glad you're here. And first of all, who is Joe Taylor?
Well, thanks for having me, John. I'm really excited about being here with this new series you're doing. What an exciting group. 2.0 is great. Joe Taylor is a businessman here in Southwest Florida.
Awesome.
Yes.
So you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur, but let's go back first before you talk about your current business, because I heard that you were a part of an interesting occupation when you were 16 years old. You worked at a grocery store.
That's correct. Yes.
What'd you do there?
Well, I started out bagging groceries, and back then they didn't even have plastic.
Really?
It was paper or paper.
Paper or paper?
Right.
That's your option.
At least it wasn't cardboard boxes, because that means you'd be doing it at maybe the 50s.
Do you remember what they paid you back in those days?
Yes.
What
it
was
was
your hourly wage?
$3.35 an hour.
That's pretty good.
1982.
Okay, good for you.
1980. I was 16.
So when you started there, you started in what part of that? Were you bagging? That was your initial thing?
Bagging groceries, and I noticed the produce department was a really cool department that I wanted to be in, because they were always processing stuff, and everything was hand stacked. Everything was perfectly in rows and 2 layers, and it just suited me. I really loved it.
You liked the organization?
I did.
Of the produce?
Yes.
You're the produce organizer?
Yes, it was fun.
So how long were you there?
9 years at Kroger.
And what'd you do? Did you move up in the ranks, or did you always do produce?
Well, I was the youngest produce manager at 19. They had like 80 stores in the division. It was Dallas-Fort Worth.
Wow.
Very competitive back then, the grocery market. It was 24-hour stores. But I enjoyed it. So I just had a certain way of doing it where I was successful, so they kept promoting me into larger volume produce departments. So I ended up in the highest volume Kroger store.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was
You
great.
helped them get there. You were throwing produce into people's bags, whether they wanted it or not. You were just giving it to them. Take it.
Yes.
Eat this avocado.
Picking up grapes off the floor.
You were making avocado toast popular before it probably became popular, weren't you?
Probably.
So you were there for quite a while. Do you think that job helped you with your work ethic?
Oh, absolutely. It taught me management skills right off the bat. That was the first thing. And organizing, just all the great things of being a manager.
Yeah.
Scheduling, working with people.
Where'd you go from Texas?
Texas, I went up to Denver, Colorado.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Denver?
Yes.
Now, when you were there, is that when you started some of your title work?
In Denver, back in '99, that's when I got into the mortgage business.
Okay. Mortgage first before title.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was interesting. It was, rates were getting down below 8%.
What year was that?
That was in 99, yes.
So 99, 8% mortgage rates in that ballpark, which were pretty getting back up into those 7s and 8s maybe now.
Sure.
And you were in the mortgage. Did you own your company, or were you working for somebody else?
Well, I went with this one company and for about 30 days, and I did a couple of big transactions for them, and I noticed how they were treating customers, and they were charging a lot of fees on the front, but then they were making quite a bit of what they call yield spread premium on the back, and I just think it was just unethical. So after 30 days, I left, and I started my own small mortgage brokerage business.
So you moved, it sounds like, because unethical practices from them, but then also maybe the way they were treating clients. You felt like you could do a better job with that.
Absolutely.
So you started your own. What was the name of that business?
It was called Colorado Family Mortgage Brokers, LLC. Yes.
I love the family in there, of course. Yes. Talking about family, you have a family.
I do.
I'm going to jump ahead a few years.
Yes.
You have a family, and you have a wife, and I've met her. She's a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Kind spirit. Tough because she puts up with you, apparently.
Yes.
Now, her name's Autumn. Tell us a little bit about Autumn. Where'd you meet her? Because I read that you proposed, and maybe she didn't know much about the proposal, something about New York. I mean, tell us a little bit about that story.
I was single for 50 years. So
she's your first wife.
First wife, first and only. That's correct.
Wow.
And I met her over at a place here at Miramar Outlets Mall. It was a restaurant called the Tipsy Tarpon, which it's now Ford's Garage.
Yeah.
And I was single.
Did you just walk in, or you knew she was going to be there? I mean, somebody matched you up. You swiped right. What did you do to how did you know this lady?
We were just there. We knew the owners. She knew
Okay.
the owners of the restaurant. I knew the owners. And
Nice.
since I was living in Bellaterra and my business was right down the street, I was popping in there to have dinner.
Okay.
And the gal goes, "Oh my gosh, you guys have to meet." And so we met there. And then
So you weren't going to meet her. Somebody said, "You got
No.
here. She is. That's an amazing story."
Yes.
So was it love at first sight
Yes, pretty much.
Really?
I knew.
for you? But how about for her? What would she
it took
say?
her a while. Took her
Yeah,
a while.
I bet it did. I bet it did. That's awesome. Well, Autumn's a beautiful woman. Now,
Thank you.
so no kids before Autumn, right? Now, when you got married, did she have some kids? What was the
She
situation
did.
there?
She did. She had an 18-year-old that was just graduating high school,
Wow.
and then another boy that was 6 years younger than the 18. So
Now, one's
12 years
Alex,
old.
right?
Yeah,
It's Alex
Alexander and Christopher.
Now, when you married Autumn, you basically had brought in a whole family with her. How was that, right? So she already had 2 kids.
It was wonderful because I was raised by a stepfather
Okay.
since I was 5. So I
Wow.
was very appreciative of what he did for me in my life. He's still around. He's 91,
Wonderful.
lives here in
Oh,
Bonita
does he?
Springs. Yes. And
Wow.
so I felt honored to be a stepfather.
Yeah.
But what's so great is Autumn did such an amazing job with these 2 boys. They're just outstanding young men. They're my little gentlemen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them.
Yeah. Now, does
That
one of
was
them,
9 years ago.
9 years ago? So
years.
now they're a little older than 18 and 12 or something like that,
Right.
right? So what are they doing? Alex, is one of them helping you in the business? Title
Well,
company?
Alex did help me. First of all, when I met him, he was modifying Xbox machines. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
the
In a legal way modifying? I mean, what is that? That word sounds kind
well,
of...
he was modifying them and then selling them modified, putting lights in them, and so
Nice.
people were buying them, but they were younger people. But so I said, "Hey, Alex, how are you with desktops?" He built all of my new desktops at my
Nice.
title company. He built my server. He helped me with networking at 18 years old. I mean, the guy is just very intelligent. And so he was also my receptionist for a while, for a year. So he did that. And then all of a sudden, now he's refurbishing laptops, and he's one of the number 1 laptop refurbishers on eBay.
That's
He's
amazing.
He's a Microsoft refurbisher,
That's awesome.
and he's done over $10 million in sales.
That's phenomenal.
It's
phenomenal.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of him.
That's wonderful. So it sounds like too within your family. We're going to talk family a little bit. Is that all right with you? We talk
Sure.
family a little bit. Sounds like also with your family, you have 2 other family members as well, but both of them have 4 legs.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. We're big dog people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us their
we have a
names.
cat, a Himalayan cat named Sophie,
Okay.
and we have a 3-year-old husky named Nico.
Yeah.
And
It's a great name, Nico.
Oh, he's just wonderful.
That's
We love him.
That's amazing. So now Autumn, let's go back to Autumn real quick. So now she's in the real estate field.
Yes.
Now, does she do closings at your title company? Or is there a
Absolutely.
conflict of interest there?
Not at
married
all.
to the owner.
Not at all.
That's okay. Does she get special treatment?
She gets the same service as everyone else, which
That's
is outstanding.
surprising. Well, it is outstanding, but you would think, it's your wife. She should get more outstanding. Is that even possible?
Maybe she gets a little extra treatment, but
She definitely should.
yes, she's
She
a
deserves it.
realtor, and she's been doing it for a long time, like
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah. And she does a lot of luxury business.
She does.
She's with Premier, is that right?
Premier Plus
That's
luxury
wonderful.
division. So yes,
She's got such a sweet spirit. I'm sure it would behoove anyone to work with her on purchasing or selling a home here in this area of Estero. She probably works everything in Lee and Collier County on that
Correct,
luxury
yes.
side.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you guys are happily married. So you've been married now for how long? 20 years? Have you? You're 20
No,
years? How
9
long?
years.
9 years. Okay.
that would put me at 70. So not quite yet.
You're not 70, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Let me talk about this. Hobbies.
Yes,
I know you love tennis.
love tennis.
Okay, so within tennis around here, have you also picked up this crazy sport called pickleball?
No, I tried it one time.
Didn't go too
And,
well?
Well, they said, Joe, you can't jump in the kitchen. They call it the kitchen.
I know,
You
I've heard, I've seen, yeah, the
Because
little
I want
extra.
to jump in the kitchen and
And
slam
slam
the
it.
ball
I
and,
know.
and use my height. But they're like, no, you can't do that. And so
Now, how tall are you? Because you're tall. I mean, we're sitting
6'6", so
6'6".
so I love doubles. So
You never played basketball.
well, no, I never played basketball.
That wasn't your sport.
No.
High school,
Nope.
no sports.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yes.
Did you go play anywhere? Did you play any college ball?
No.
Just
no.
high school ball.
Yeah, I was always working, so
You've
never
worked.
had time.
You were bagging groceries.
That's right.
You were working hard bagging groceries. Well, that's awesome. So let me talk real quick before we head to our first break today. Let's talk a little bit about Marketplace Title. So you have owned and operated. You started that here in Estero.
Correct.
Is that right?
I started in Fort Myers
Okay.
back in 2007,
Okay.
and I moved it to Estero in 2010.
Got it.
So it's our 16th year now.
And your office is great location right off of 75 in Corkscrew, easy on and off. I mean, you're like a block off the interstate, easy to get to. Your office is beautiful, by the way. Been there plenty of times. Very accommodating for guests to come visit with you guys and hang out. Debbie, Sarah, all those gals, they all take care of us when we have closings there as well, too. They're wonderful
Thank you.
people.
Yes.
Now, why do you think your employees stay with you so long? Because you have longevity at your place.
Well, I think it's just how you treat people. I think any business you're in, I just say we're in the people business. We're all in the people business. So if you can treat people with respect and dignity and integrity and put them first, then profits will come. If obviously you have to have good business structures and products and systems and procedures, but I think it's just the fun that we instill in being there, and they just enjoy helping people. And if you get a good plan together that works and you see how happy the customers are, it helps them feel really good about what they do. So,
well, like any business, I'm sure you've hit those days where money's maybe a little low in the account, right? The bank account, and you're thinking, okay, how do we get this back up? And it gets a little stressful. So how do you keep that separate from treating your employees and your customers without that stress of, I got to have this deal. If not, I may not make my house payment this month, right?
It's never really come to that, but it's always good to just have a line of credit. So you learn
got some good banker friends.
Yes, you learn how to manage money, and sometimes you have to take some money and borrow it, but then pay it back as soon as possible. So you just have a line of credit, and then it takes a lot of pressure off. But I think just things seem to work themselves out if you don't worry about it too much.
Yeah,
you just provide the service, and it will happen.
I love that. Service is key, especially around here. People love service, and people will pay extra for good service, won't they? Do you find that around here?
Absolutely.
So within your business, when you provide service to a client walks in your door, what does that look like to most people? Because they haven't seen it. I can tell them what it looks like, but I don't want to. So when somebody walks in your front door, whether it's a realtor or it's somebody who's just trying to find a good title company to use on their closing, what should they expect when they walk into your office?
Well, title business is very complicated and it's very detailed.
Yes.
So you have to pull a lot of pieces of information together. The client, the buyers and sellers, they're already moving. They're selling a home, buying a home. They're getting qualified. So there's a lot of pieces. So there's
an emotion.
Out.
There's a big emotion, right? It's
big
high level.
emotion. Very stressful. So you work with the right realtors like you. You know, it's always helpful when you have an experienced, passionate realtor.
Calming.
Right, John C. But what it looks like is peace of mind.
Yeah.
If we can provide peace of mind through that closing process, and it all starts right when we get the contract, you got to call the buyers and sellers right away.
Yeah.
And let them know who you are, what you do, and
let
then
them know you're competent.
Exactly. And
that's
right away, you can just feel it like, wow.
And feel the exhale.
Yes. And then you just have great systems and procedures. And I look at it, this is a closing experience.
So when somebody has that call from your office, whether it's you or Debbie or one of the girls from the office, and they call that client and say, listen, we're going to help you get to closing in 30 days, 45 days, whatever that is. I think also, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, it also helps that client put them at ease to know that there's a human on the other end of this.
Oh, absolutely.
And that human has a name. And now I have their phone number on my phone because they called me or they texted me. Because you guys, tell them about your texting system. You have a system that it's amazing. I mean, everything.
I think the first thing we do is we text the client.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Marketplace Title. We're working with, and we give them the name and we give them the address. We're your title agent. And we tell them you can text us or use this number to call. And then we tell them, check your email. We just invited you to a secure portal.
Nice.
It's really neat. This website, it has everything, and security is very important.
Oh, yeah.
So we call them, we text them, and we email them.
That's awesome.
Within 24
Because everybody
hours.
communicates differently.
Oh,
Some
yes.
people don't want a phone call. You call them, they never answer. It goes right to voicemail every time.
Exactly.
Some people just want to text. Some people don't text at all.
Absolutely.
They want a phone call. They want to feel and hear that emotion, which sometimes can be absent from a text or an email, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So now you have all that. To me, that gives people peace of mind to know that I know somebody now, they're going to help us to that closing. They've got a team, because you have a team. It's not like, hey, it's only Joe you're working with right now, right?
Correct.
You got
Yes.
teams of people who help out with everything.
We even have a real estate attorney on staff, David Burt, and he's wonderful. And that gives, you don't need a real estate attorney in Florida to close.
Right.
But when you have one on there, it gives peace of mind for a lot of these northern clients. They're used to closing with attorneys.
That's right.
So another level of peace of mind.
Let's talk more about those northern clients right after our break. Hey, everybody, welcome back. And we're talking with our special guest today, Joe Taylor, on our summer series for Grow Business Network, the interview podcast. And we're having a lot of fun today with Joe, the owner and operator of Marketplace Title. And Joe, we've known each other for years, and this is a great opportunity for us to sit down. Before we went to our break, we were talking a little bit about Northerners, and Northerners are different. What should I go with there on that? I got to be careful, because a lot of people we deal with are Northerners.
Oh, it's great. We love it. In fact, we're mail away experts, because a lot of our clients are buying second homes, or they have homes up north. So
if somebody's not here, you can ship a package. They can sign it where they are with a notary or somebody there, go to the bank or something, sign it, and overnight it right back to you guys.
Absolutely.
They don't need to be here.
Well, a cash buyer can actually e-sign right on our website.
Oh, nice.
And sellers, they only have to notarize maybe 3 or 4 documents. So
Nice.
Sometimes we'll send a remote notary to them, or if they know a notary, they have to get a witness. But on a financed buyer, we like to get a remote notary out to them.
Can a cash buyer stuff cash in the envelope with the signatures and send it back to you?
We've had someone bring in cash before,
I know you have.
absolutely, but we'll accept cash or a wire, but we prefer a wire. Okay.
Oh, you will take
Yeah.
cash.
Well,
They can bring their
it's rare.
500,000 and
It's very rare. So we would probably
That is
have
too funny.
probably be a red flag why they have cash. So
why they have so much cash,
Yes.
and they're not in the bank account. That's pretty interesting. So Northerners are unique, and now here in Florida, tell them the difference, or if they can, how that works with closing with a title company compared to just using a real estate attorney. Because a lot of people up north, that's their only option, right? In certain states, title company isn't
Correct.
even an option.
correct. Certain states like New York, I believe Illinois,
Mhm.
they're used to having to go to an attorney.
Yeah.
But here in Florida, we are licensed title agents.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to, close with an attorney.
Right.
So
Title companies can handle both sides of the transaction,
correct.
make it smooth, let it work together.
Yes.
You handle both parties, buyer and seller.
Or if a buyer or seller wants their own representation, we'll work with their attorney to get the documents to
Nice.
them.
So somebody from up north feels more comfortable with an attorney. They can use an attorney on their side,
Absolutely.
and you guys correspond with those folks back and forth. But then you also have David, you were mentioning, on staff, and David can help look over any type of documents or answer questions.
Correct. It just shows that you have a real estate attorney managing the entire process. So things are being done properly and compliant,
Yeah.
in compliance. So that's where it gives a level of peace of mind. So,
Comfort, that's right.
yes,
Again,
without the additional costs sometimes too, because, an attorney can add some more costs. So
attorneys aren't pro bono.
no.
Oh, okay. Well, David is for us a lot of times, because he comes along with the deal in a sense with the title service, right? Like if somebody closes with you, unless it's something crazy outlandish that he's got to spend a ton of time on, he seems to be that resource that a quick question can be asked without
Correct.
billing us for $1,000.
Correct. He can answer general questions regarding the transaction.
Love that.
So.
Let's jump into this Grow 2.0. So if people don't know about Grow Business Network really exists to help bring substantial value to people's businesses through acts of service and kindness, but also we give a lot of referrals. You were a part of Grow Business Network for years, Grow 1.0 as we say now, and you were in our network on different teams so that we could help with referrals back and forth. But now you are head over heels into Grow 2.0. So what is Grow 2.0? Just give these guys what your perspective of what that looks like for you and how that's benefited you over the last 6 months.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I like it because we meet once a month
Mm-hmm.
and it's for 3.5, sometimes 4 hours.
Yeah.
And it's with business owners and entrepreneurs in a small group. And it's a structured program where we're doing exercises, learning about different books and experiences from each other, and we challenge each other. It's accountability. We talk about challenges we're having. We help each other with successes and some challenges, and it's very rewarding. And I just really enjoy it. I've learned a lot, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, we love that you're a part of it. And we love the energy and the excitement you bring to it, but also the experience. What's something that you would tell entrepreneurs that are watching this today, experience-wise, that you could pass on? A little nugget that's like, you know what, this is something that served me well in bagging groceries all the way to serving hundreds, if not thousands of realtors with their closings.
I would say surround yourself with great people,
Yeah.
just like you're doing with the Grow Business Network, because people want to help people, especially people that are starting into a new business. And that one guest you had from the college,
Yes.
that's a great resource. I wish I'd have known about that. What were they talking about? It was the
All talking about helping with financing, helping with your anything from websites all the way, everything business related.
it's great.
Almost like a counselor in a sense.
Correct.
And it's a free service
It
for
is a free
businesses,
service.
or even if you don't have a business, how to get your business set up. Because I think we can't forget about those entrepreneurs who maybe haven't started their business yet. They're more of a mindset entrepreneur, and they know they're going to have their own business, but maybe they haven't just started it yet. So now they need a little guidance or help. They need to, like you just said, surround themselves with people who have already done that. They've already blazed the trail. They've worked the path, right? And so we can help them out. And that's what this gal from the college was doing for us.
Absolutely. I think it's a great way to get in there. And it's all business owners and professionals that are helping these entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Free services like how to set up your LLC, things to consider, to how to set it up or which way you want to go, and even marketing, a lot of resources there.
Joe, look back on your life and not just your business career, and tell us something that has impacted you greatly, that maybe changed your course or changed your mindset of what you were thinking. Maybe something that was business related, maybe family related, anything that you can think of that really made your path go a different direction, maybe. Am I saying that right? I've thought about this question all morning, trying to figure out how do you really word that to somebody? And I can already tell in your head, because I can tell from your smile. What was that in your life that happened?
Well, there are several examples. One would be when the real estate market just tanked all over the country, all over the world, actually. It was terrible. It was 2008, and I just started Marketplace Title.
Wow.
And at the time, I had a mortgage company, so I lost 90% of my income.
So did you have your mortgage and your title company?
Yes.
So you were double dipping in the same industry that now is basically falling off a cliff.
It was falling off a cliff. I lost, at 45 years old, all my income overnight. I had everything invested in these businesses.
You lost thousands.
So, yes, thousands for sure. So I just
It's
said,
good you can laugh about that now.
right. Well, and then
Because then you probably weren't laughing.
no, not really.
I mean, you're a positive guy, but when those things happen to people and you're losing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, no matter what size your business, whether it's $100 or whatever, and it's tough.
It's tough. I just decided you got to pick one company. That was the first thing. And I was passionate about title because it's so dynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little of everything. You've got real estate, you've got lending, you've got all types of people that you're working with.
Sure.
And it was just, it really suited me. So that was one thing. The next thing that I would say is when I got married, I mean, Autumn and my two stepsons, they really helped redefine my purpose in life, which I knew it was family. How can you give back? But when you have that, it just made everything better for me. And
so your purpose right now is your family. Is that what I'm hearing? I mean, tell me a little bit more about, like, when you get up in the morning, your purpose is what?
Family and my staff, my people and then customers. So
you're working for them.
Absolutely.
Something outside yourself.
Yeah, I don't call them employees. They're my teammates.
I love that.
They're I can't even say staff. I just say this is my support person that helps with everything. So
Now, Joe, you're moving in a direction with your business where you're expanding. So in the last year, you've expanded your business, right? So you've expanded to, I think, the Cape, right?
well, that's another separate venture.
Okay.
It's called Florida Property
Can we talk about that here on camera?
Title. Yes.
Is that all right? We're going to have to cut this out.
So it's just another venture, but it's
But
where
it's
I
still
have
title.
it is title. It's where I have 30% of the ownership are developers, and that's
Okay.
called an affiliated business arrangement. And that's how they can legally get a small portion of referrals because,
Wow.
RESPA is very strict
Oh, they're
about
tight.
any kind of kickbacks or anything. So I've started this company with these developers because in Northwest Cape, there are thousands of empty lots that they're developing. And so they send them to me and the title company, and it's been wonderful.
So they're helping you. You find empty lots, or they're finding empty lots. You're working with a developer also in that. Who can be a part of this venture with you right now with your company? Other realtors, people looking to invest? I mean, what are you guys looking for?
Well, general realtors can come to us, and because it's a wonderful location, it's out in the West Cape, and there aren't many title companies in that area.
Mm.
And so it's in a great shopping area. It's great access, again, location. And so it's just a wonderful opportunity. But
It is.
the developers really find the investors. They help them buy the lot. They
Nice.
help them with the construction perm loan and then the end loan later. So there could be 3 transactions
Awesome.
with one client. And some of these clients are buying 5, 10 properties because rental investment property is really heating up.
Oh, rentals
mean-
around here, you know that, right? Rentals have just skyrocketed from what they were even just 10 years ago. They've almost tripled, it seems like, in some locations on rental costs.
Absolutely. So they have a system. And so I developed the company as far as all the compliance and structure
Yeah.
and set up all the systems, and they send all the business.
One of the
For the
things
most
that I saw in some of the information that I was looking at with you is that you put people first before
Absolutely.
people before profits. People before profits. Do you have any example of your industry or what you guys have done where you had to, well, you didn't have to, you actually made a choice to put somebody or people before the profits? In other words, maybe before that closing or before that transaction happened, you say, you know what, I'm going to lose money in this, but the people are more important than the closing. Anything like that you can think of?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's some times where maybe a great or a client like a realtor has somebody that is really struggling, needs help. We'll cut our fee down and do something just to
Nice.
help that person out, or
Sure.
cut it down to as bare minimum as possible.
Yeah.
So that it can help them out. But there are some examples of that for sure.
I'm sure there are. And I've seen also from time to time, you guys will offer repeat customers some type of incentive.
Yes, absolutely. So they get a 20% off their closing fee.
That's awesome.
So
That's fantastic. Before we finish up today, because we only have a few minutes left. So I have heard, well, I actually saw it, I didn't hear it. I've heard that you do some fishing in some of these lakes around here. And what's your mode of vehicle? Is it a bass boat? I mean, what are you fishing out of?
well, I'm on a jet ski now. It's really cool. I used to have an offshore.
We're going to have to get a picture of that and put it so people can see it, or go to Joe's Facebook page. Is it on Facebook? Where'd you post that at?
Facebook, Instagram.
Go to Joe's Facebook page. You got to see this guy catching it was a bass, wasn't it?
It was a bass.
How big was that joker?
It was probably 4 or 5 pounds.
That's
So
bigger
it was
than-
exciting because I've only caught 1 or 2 pounders out there. But I go out in the Gulf.
Is that where
and-
you were on that one?
No, that was in
You were in a
Wild
lake.
Blue Lake.
Wild Blue Lake here in Estero.
But the jet ski, it has a live well. It has Garmin, blue water chart and
Depth,
fish
everything.
finder.
So you could see
stereo.
the bass. You could see the 5-pounder. You put it right in front of
Well-
him, and he just bit it.
Yeah, right.
That's a little bit of cheating, I think.
But it's really exciting because if you don't catch, you can ride, and so
That is
they're
fun.
really
How
stable.
fast does that thing go?
About 55.
Really? Full
Yes.
throttle, 55,
And
wide
they're
open.
so easy to maintain. and
3-seater, 2-seater?
You can put 3 people on there, but I've got 2 of them. So
I got time later today, so
Let's go.
whenever you're ready, let's get at it. So then we need to wrap this up then, because we're going fishing this afternoon.
right.
Well, Southwest Florida is such a beautiful place. You can fish. You can fish in the fresh water. Do you do any saltwater fishing?
Absolutely. I go out in the
Really?
Gulf all the time. I've
Yeah.
got specialized equipment like an EPIRB, a satellite, beacon in case of, emergency,
Sure.
and handheld VHF, and
Yeah.
just safety first. But it is really fun.
We get a couple thunderstorms here from time to time, especially this time of year, about 3 o'clock. They seem to pop up. We've had some heavy rains in the last few
Oh,
evenings. We've
yes.
needed it, but it's great to have it. Any other hobbies or things outside of tennis, fishing that you do? What do you like? Let's leave with this. What do you like to do with your wife or your family? What do you guys do on the weekends?
Well, we got a pool table recently, and I used to
Nice.
play pool a lot. So the boys are learning. So I'm teaching them how to play pool, and they're getting pretty good at it.
You're taking
But
it to them, aren't you?
yes, and Autumn's an amazing cook. So we like to barbecue. She cooks at home, and we just enjoy being at home. We
Yeah.
just love at our home.
You guys do a great job. And knowing you for these last few years, you are wonderful at serving others well.
Thank you.
And what I mean by that is whenever I see you, you're always looking to help someone else first instead of help yourself first. And that's a beautiful attribute to be around. That's why I love being around you. Like you said earlier, you want to be around people who are going to be beneficial in your life. And you do that well with everybody that you come across, even your staff. When I see them, you can tell they're just radiating your happiness, your joy. I joked with Debbie today when I stopped by your office. I said, well, I'm going to interview Joe. I'm not sure if he'll come out of his shell today, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, I'm kind of reserved today.
Yeah, right. You are a little reserved for normal. Well, thanks for being on the show today. We really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
We appreciate Marketplace Title and all you guys do for the community in the area, the way you guys give back consistently. You guys sponsor so many things. And so we love you guys, and we're so glad that you do that for us.
Thank you, John. It was a pleasure.
Good.